Boxing Truth here, back with another video. Make sure to smash that like button, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Alright, this is really my first commentating video of the year. Had a rough start to the year, recovered from that sickness, but we all good now, we energetic, we back on the grind. So let's get this first commentating video off to the right start of the year. So, significant fight tomorrow on Showtime's Boxing. The annual title defense for Gary Russell. Well, it's been 2 years since he's fought, but usually is an annual title defense once a year or once every 2 years. That's why he's considered, well, that's why he is the longest reigning champion. All that inactivity to consider. But it's an interesting fight. Title defense, mandatory defense that he has with Magsayo, who is Manny Pacquiao's up-and-coming contender fighter. And Magsayo is a 2-to-1 underdog in this fight. So the odds makers believe he has a chance, especially against an aging and inactive Gary Russell. Gary Russell will be 34 years old next month. Actually, he'll be 34 years old in June, my bad. So he's getting up there in age. He's not a young guy anymore. He's inactive. He's coming off a very long layoff, and he's going to be fighting a younger, fresher, undefeated, naturally bigger guy in Magsayo. So to me, this is a very risky fight to bet on. If you're going to bet on Magsayo, because, well, as you can see here, he is weak to the body. He's not invincible. I mean, he can be hit, he can be hurt, but I was impressed how Magsayo came back very strong in this fight, despite getting hurt to the body pretty badly. So he definitely has a second gear inside of him. He could come back from a knockdown. He has heart. He can get hurt significantly and come back in the fight. So those are all good signs there. And he's showing late knockout power in the later rounds. So this is a very interesting fight. My concern here is how protected Gary Russell is. He's one of the most protected fighters in the game. I mean, it's just what it is. For you to beat Gary Russell, you have to do two things. You either have to knock him out, or you have to dominate him like Lomachenko did and win almost every round and still have one judge score a draw for Gary Russell. He's one of the most protected fighters in boxing today. It is what it is. I don't know why. I saw Jojo Diaz beat Gary Russell, and this is what the two judges gave him in that fight. Let's see how many rounds they gave him. They gave Jojo Diaz 3 rounds. Two of the judges. I mean, at best, it was a close fight, which is what Dave Braswell scored. He scored a 7-5 Russell. That was a more accurate version of the fight. At best, it was a close, drawish type of fight that I felt Jojo did pull out. You know, not by a large margin, but this is what you're dealing with Gary Russell. You get 3 rounds. Against King Tug, that fight was very close, drawish. Look how many rounds they gave him. One judge gave Nambiar 2 rounds, another one gave him 3, another one gave him 4. So you're dealing with politics when you're fighting Gary Russell. You're dealing with hometown gift decisions like JoJo suffered in this fight against him. And if you dominate him like Lomachenko did, you still have judges trying to rob your ass, like Lisa Champa tried to do in their fight back in 2014. Look, to me, Gary Russell is overrated. I mean, he's not overrated because no one rates him as a pound-for-pound fighter. That's simply because of his own doing. But I'm not a big believer in his talent. He's fast. He's got good power. He's fast. He's tough. I give him that. He's a very durable guy, and he's tough. But you know, he's just not that good. He's only stepped up once in his whole career, and when he did that, he got dealt with. He's only fought one elite fighter in his career, one really top fighter, and he fought another good fighter in JoJo, who I also believe is at that level, and he got dealt with in this fight too, but got a hometown decision. So when Russell steps to that level, he gets dealt with. But what level is Magsayo? I don't know. He looks like a promising guy, good size, good power, youth on his side. Manny Pacquiao's rising contender, but for him to win this fight, he's gonna have to knock Gary Russell out. So if you're gonna bet on because I'm not gonna bet on this fight, it's too risky. There's just too many politics. Gary Russell protected, Al Heyman, PBC. So if you're gonna bet Magsayo, bet the knockout. You're gonna get 5-1 fucking odds here, because that's the only way Magsayo is gonna win, in my opinion. I don't see him getting a decision. Neither do the odds makers. Plus 750. But the most logical bet here, the safest bet here, is Gary Russell by decision. But it's not impossible for Gary Russell to get a knockout here, because Magsayo can be hurt. He especially can be hurt to the body. So to me, it's too risky of a play on either side. Russell could win either way, and Magsayo's only way of winning is by knockout, because he's not going to get a decision. So my advice, just sit this one out, watch the fight, and enjoy it, because it's just too risky on both sides of the play, unless you want to hedge it, do what Dwyer does and hedge it. But the thing is, the juice on money line for Gary Russell is too high, so you're going to have to really risk a lot to hedge the play. So to me, this fight is not worth it betting wise, but there's a really good chance we could see a new WBC champion in the featherweight division. But y'all let me know what y'all think, who you got, what's your betting advice. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.